Yeah, like how many people dropped out? Yeah, Cedric was because of hiccups.
Hey, don't say it like that.
He had a gastrointestinal issue or something. I don't know what he had.
That sounds better, but you just said he dropped out because of hiccups.
Hey man, hiccups are terrible, right? Have you had hiccups for like I don't remember the last time I had hiccups, but I remember them being very terrible. Like I couldn't like if I ate something, it'd like want to come back up. And I think that's what they said his problem was he wasn't able to eat.
Yeah, so he was having extended periods, like days of it. I've had like 5, 10 minutes where I had hiccups where like it'd be like nothing, 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 hiccup. It's like, oh, that's annoying, but nothing extended period of time. They said they
Right.
think it's a ulcer that was causing
Uh,
his issues.
like maybe stress.
Probably he's notorious for having like stress affect him at big shows.
Yeah.
So what do you think
Um,
about the last updates you've seen of like Curry, Brett?
so I will share my screen with you if you can see it on your tiny phone.
No, that works
So this is the
perfect for me.
buys and tries is the page I'm on Instagram. Um, I tell you what, man. I know Nick Trigili made a video about Regan. I didn't watch it, but
I won't watch his stuff. It's generally too framed in negativity for me. And I
yeah,
don't want it to keep popping up on my page. So I won't even watch even ones that are like I'm kind of interested in. I don't want to click on it because I don't want more of his stuff to pop up.
the algorithm. Yeah, yeah, his stuff is kind of crazy. But yeah, I mean, I think Regan looks actually really nice, but I still think he's gonna look small on stage for some. Um, but
He's just so tall. He looks great by himself. Like insane.
yeah, because like I know the single photos don't do people justice, but like Steve Kuplo, I mean, man, him and Regan next to each other, I just think Steve's gonna kind of blow him out of the water, and so is Justin Rodriguez. So I know I had Regan very high on my list, just because of like aesthetics. If they're gonna reward that, then yeah, Regan might do well, but it looks like Milos's insulin protocol went into full effect, and he is just like blown up. You know what I mean? Which is could be good because his body can still adjust, but I think so. I guess let's start off at the beginning. I still think Brandon has got it,
Yeah,
um,
I have to
and
agree with that.
I think this man right here, Brett Wilkin, will be in second. Um,
Quick
yeah,
note:
man.
before his Chicago Pro show and before this show, yes, he's getting some impressive pictures, but I don't think he translates well because I don't think his pictures or videos by himself look that great. I just, for whatever reason, like his old training partner, the other white guy that's super, super bubbly,
Yeah,
when they were posting going into Chicago, I thought that guy looked better than him. But obviously, Brett brings the conditioning, which put him leaps and bounds over everyone else, including his training partner. But his old training partner like was more bubbly, more round. It looked more impressive to me. Where Brett, everyone that says in person, like it, yes, the picture looks good, but he's like so much more impressive in person. Like Ian was talking about, like, yeah, that picture looks great. He was insane in person. So I'm kind of banking on that because I don't look at his pictures and think like lights out, even though I have a image of him in my mind based on what he did last time and where he is in reference to that. I think he's going to do great. I also think he'll be second. I think
yeah.
my third is what's going to be significantly different than yours.
All right. So yeah, I'll go, man. So I think my third, um, I think Justin Rodriguez.
His update, he is notorious from going like, oh, he looks behind, looks behind, looks behind. Insanely peeled. You see his side, like his quarter turn the other day?
Yeah, right here.
That looks good too. But his quarter turn that he
Yeah.
posted a couple days ago, I forget who posted it, looked peeled.
Right there.
Yeah, dude, look at that.
Yeah, at the beginning, man, I don't think I didn't even have him in my top 5. Because I thought he was going to be kind of watery and maybe his like legs wouldn't keep up with the rest of his upper body because it's so dominant. But dude, he
still probably won't. But.
Yeah, I mean, his I don't know. I'm so used to seeing like the hamstring drop of Nick Walker because he posts so much stuff on social media. It's and same thing with like Ian, like the hamstring drop. I like, I don't know. So I don't really know how it looks, but he's very impressive, man. Yeah, he's just getting better. Who's your third?
I'm putting Samson in third. Dude, I am so impressed by Samson. Won't even try to pronounce his last name.
Dauda?
Yeah. I've heard Dauda and Duda and whatever else.
Yeah.
No, I'm very impressed with him. Like he's starting to get some recognition, but I think his shape, I think he's a bigger Regan with better arms.
Yeah. I know I like to compare him with Quentin, and I know Quentin isn't competing right now, but I think they flow, like their flow is very similar.
Yeah. And they compare him to young Ronnie Coleman.
Quentin. Yeah, like 93 Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah, the one that was still really streamlined with the small waist before it kind of blew out.
Because I picture like Flex Lewis and stuff. So like, yeah, Samson, I mean, he has the potential. Where's this? I saw one of his videos that his wife was like, recording in a mirror, but I can't find it. But
by the stairs. That's the one that I seen where I was like,
yeah,
okay, because before his thing was always like conditioning peeled. He was just a little bit off, and he's talked about this in interviews. He looks like he couldn't be off. He looks so ready that he could fuck up pretty bad and still be in better shape than he used to show up as.
Yeah, and he got here in the U.S. Pretty early, so he's not like stressed out. So
yeah. I think it was a few weeks ago that stair one got posted.
Here's this one.
That one's impressive too.
Yeah, I just think, I don't know how big these guys are compared to each other. So, because we've seen Samson and Regan on stage together, and well, I don't remember what show that was, but
couple. They're 1-1 right now, I think.
Yeah, it was the overseas show, like one of those over there. But yeah, man, his physique, like his hamstring, the detail, the sweep coming from the rear, double by. Yeah. But I think his back is thicker and more dense than Regan's. Like you can even see right there.
I think he said he's about 280 too. And for being conditioned, he's a little taller, kind of like Regan's thing where he's on the taller side. So the weight's like 280 on their physique is different than 280 on a 5'8" physique. But
yeah. Look, Natalia's like a fan. She's like, let's go.
Look at the deep. I like the deep, just how deep his separations are in his legs too.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be a good showing for him. I'm excited.
Yeah.
And I put Justin right behind him. So
Justin's your fourth.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have Samson fifth. My fourth is Steve Kukla.
Yeah. He's lighter. I think he said he's nearly 10 pounds lighter than last year's Arnold. So we'll see what that means. How do you like that approach for him?
Well, I think I personally like the more conditioned look. I like that kind of like 90s look, more dense and compact. I'm not the biggest fan of like guys getting like really huge and kind of stretching the limits of like what their body can do, because then it starts distending their gut. And so I like it when they do quarter turns that their stomach doesn't protrude, and it's really hard for them to get so large and bubbly without their gut protruding. So I'm a big fan. It's like I like classic, but I like them being bigger. So I like that freak factor, right? But I like to have like that classic like midsection. So like when they do those quarter turns, it just it makes all the other muscles become highlighted, versus when they quarter turn and their guts protruding or distended, my eyes are drawn toward that little distension at the bottom, and then I look and at the rest of the body, and then I miss their physique. So like that's where I have my different opinions on people like Kai Green. It's his structure. Same thing like with William Bonac. I mean, the older they get, the more compact their midsection is, the more it's going to protrude, because they're trying to play the size game, because that's what they're rewarding. But I like that dense, more conditioned look.
Yeah. So right now it sounds like you like what Samson's bringing.
Yeah,
he's those qualities: small waist, bubbly.
yeah. I don't know what he's going to look like compared to these other guys, because Brett, from his quarter turns, his distension isn't bad. I think if he continues to grow at the rate he's going to get that distension. So like Nick Walker's physique, I think it's crazy. It's nice. He keeps his waist in really well for his size. But I think the freakier that they get, it just becomes more like Ronnie, and how his stomach just got more and more protruded. Same thing like with Phil Heath. Like, yeah, he had a hernia issue and stuff, but like that comes with that playing the size game, and the food volume is just like what gets them. So if they can find a way around that, then I think keeping that waist tight is going to be nice, and that's what Brandon does really well. So
I was a little bit worried about a video that I seen with Brett where his stomach was a little out
distended.
there, more than I'm used to seeing.
Yeah, are those videos like post food, or they fasted? Like that's what I never know times.
I think they were post food, but still.
Yeah, because like sometimes with clients, man, it's like you get they send you their progress photos, right? And they'll send it to you in the morning after they've done like their morning vacuums, and then they go throughout their day and they eat their food. And I don't know about you, but like I request to have photos sent at night after all their meals. So to me, it kind of sees how much food volume, like maybe I need to like make more calories in a liquid shake to decrease the amount of volume of food that their guts protruding now, to help keep that waste in. And so for me, like that's an indicator of like, if when they continue to grow with these more calories, their gut's going to grow too. So if I can keep that as small as possible and just pack in tons of calories liquid wise, then I'll help them have better success with keeping that small waist.
Yeah. So obviously that's something I do once people get closer to shows.
Yeah.
It's not something like farther out I'm doing.
Oh, I do all the time.
My problem is getting clients to actually do it consistently. I feel like once we're getting closer to a show, it's easier to request more because it's getting there. But like off-season stuff, I have a few clients I really struggle to get their check-ins on time.
Yeah. See, like this, his waist is tight, but you can also see like he's probably eat. This is during a workout, so I bet has some intra carbs, you know, and probably his digestion's probably a little bit wrecked.
Dude, his shoulder and upper chest, like how full it is, it looks insane. I think
Yeah,
he has one of the fullest
that
upper chests.
was November 20th, that photo. So yeah,
It's a
man.
long time. He's super impressive.
There's a video. Yeah, his fullness is like nutty. Jeez.
It'll be fun. Man. So quickly, what do you think about Classic? Because I still have Terrence taking it, but after one of the updates, I think yours, or however you pronounce his name, is going to beat Breon.
Yeah,
I do. His recent update, he added some size, like the size he added to his lats, which already makes him like his front double, his new front double is insane.
You're talking about Breon?
No, I'm talking about yours.
Yours, yeah.
He just released.
Yeah, but I say he just like leaked a photo, I guess, from one of Flew Out's podcasts. I think he said that he leaked a photo. Yeah, I mean, it's funny that like they're promoting the Classic with Ramon and Urs on here. So that's weird, right?
They probably think, well, they did a whole video like independent with Terrence. They've posted some like a lot of independent stuff with Terrence.
Yeah.
See, I sent you this last night?
Yeah.
I think he looks maybe the best condition he's ever been, but I think is he downsized?
Is his legs downsized?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? From the rear?
I think so. Like
overall, is that because he has to make weight though? Because didn't he say that was an issue before?
I think he was always close to the weight cutoff. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And he's like in his late 30s, or no, he's got to be in his 40s, I think, because like he's pretty far up there in age to where I was just like really surprised. Here we go. Yeah, so what you got? Terrence, you got Breon, Ramon, Urs, Divine, for those listening, like that dude with the crazy hair, like the super long hair. Darwin, I've never heard of. Peter Molnar, that dude's crazy. His Instagram photos are crazy. So what that translates to on the stage next to Terrence, because we haven't seen them next to each other.
He's been on stage in a pro show, and he didn't compare very well. They didn't reward him at all. I think he was second call out in a not big show, but his arms and chest, like by themselves, are nutty body parts. Like everything to do with his arms, his triceps, his biceps. He has some very impressive social media pictures because of it.
Yeah, his bicep peaks are like suspiciously crazy, but there's no way that there's like anything in them, because I wouldn't suspect it because they're so striated. It's crazy. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I still think I still want Urs. How do you pronounce his name? I still want him to win. I like Terrence, Tampa guy, local guy, but I don't know. I like that Urs kid a lot. But yeah, Terrence is probably going to run away with it. So
see, I still think Terrence is going to win. I don't know if he runs away with it. Can we pull up those updates that he released?
Yeah,
I thought
is he the Miracle
Bear?
A
lot. Yeah.
He's okay.
I need a cool social media name.
Why do I think of Magic Mike whenever I think of that, like a dancing bear?
There we go. Yes, there should be a couple on that slide. But yeah,
Oh yeah, there is.
His lats have come up so far. His legs already had great shape. I think they're up.
Yeah. Man, he's gotten so wide. He runs into the same problem that Chris Bumstead does with his arms, right?
This picture is the one that really got my attention.
Yeah.
I think his lats are way up from his last showing at the Olympia.
So what is Terrence beats him with his sweep, right?
Yeah, and I think he wins the back shots.
Yeah.
So
Side shots for sure, Terrence. Like, so his arms. Yeah, his arms for some reason are not like catching up. I think he runs into the same problem like Chris Bumstead, which isn't obviously a hindrance since Bumstead's 3-time, but I think that's where he's going to focus on next, right?
I would hope so. I wonder if he's doing like push-pull legs.
And this is 4 days ago that he posted it. I doubt this is like legitly around this time, because I feel like his legs would have to be a little bit more conditioned.
I think I see someone
reference.
I think something referenced it was a couple weeks out. The picture was from.
Yeah.
I like his like adductors from the back too. Like he's not like I think he's going to be Breon with that alone. Just being more complete with how narrow Breon's legs were looking from the back. And by narrow, I mean better than 99.99999% of people on the planet, but in this lineup.
Yeah. Hey, I like how Chris Bumstead's comment, yes, gets like 2,000 likes.
Of course it does. And people keep pointing out his calves. He has.
Oh man, it's funny.
It'd be, dude. I'd be so wealthy if I could build a following like Chris Bumstead.
Like look at this though. Chris Bumstead, 2,000 likes for his comment. And his is just like a yes. Greg Doucette's comment was front double and front relaxed are wild. So it's a little bit more like I guess like a more detailed comment. And it's 190 likes with one reply. Chris gets like 74 replies. And then Fuad, he gets even more likes than Greg Doucette. I think this is funny. I like reading these like comments, but
I really hope we can find the stream because I want to see Fuad commentate. I'm as excited about that.
Yeah, I was going to buy it, but I'm working tomorrow night, so I'm not going to be around.
Well, like I said, I think they have prejudging tonight. I think it's a 2-day.
Oh.
Yeah. I have to keep an eye out for it.
Well, I'm not a good host, so I don't know all this stuff.
We did it last minute because of how many people dropped out, and I wanted to get an updated opinion because I do think Rodriguez moved up far from where I had him, and I want to get
because Nathan dropped out, right? You had Nathan in the top.
I did, yeah. So I kind of put Samson in his place because Samson's actually beat Nathan at their last showing.
Yeah. Huh. It'll be interesting.
It's going to be fun. It will be. But awesome. And maybe on a different podcast, I want to talk to you about some markers on blood work that people should look for, specifically women. It won't be this one because it'll be probably a little longer. But I think there's a lot of stuff going around about women's blood work. And I was looking into taking one of the courses on it by the excellent cartel guy. He does. Their podcast is really good. I think I sent you a couple of the episodes, but I think it would be a good topic.
Yeah. Maybe I can reach out to like Scott McNally and get Victoria. Maybe is it Victoria McNally now? Yeah, maybe. So I can ask her because I've sent her stuff from about Eiley and she's given me feedback about it. So and it gets really confusing, and it's to the point where I think some coaches, they forget the quick hormonal changes that women go through, and how like their blood work can change like so quickly that really, besides like hormonal panels that need to be looked at, I think there's some autoimmune panels that need to be looked at as well, since women have a higher risk of developing these autoimmune problems. And that's also due to however many, like, so if they've had a child, maybe they've had an antibiotic, because antibiotics, with the distribution of antibiotics, there seems to be more autoimmune diseases. It's not necessarily plastics. It's just more of these vaccines, more of these antibiotics. We have more of these issues, and women seem to get the blunt end of the stick, and they develop them a lot easier. And yeah, so I think hormonal, like a hormonal panel that can help them kind of dictate of like, hey, maybe I'm not going to get like Hashimoto's is going to be like the most common for women in the fitness industry. So hopefully, like, yeah, there'll be some blood markers for sure to look at. But
Yeah. I think obviously crazy difficult, and I've heard her speak on it multiple times on multiple different podcasts. And yeah, it's insane. It's so in depth. But I was wondering, just like, if there was like, if deep into prep, if you were going to check a basic panel, what key things would you look for? Like estradiol, progesterone, like just key indicators that I think would not only help me, which I think I have a decent idea of what to look for, but obviously I'm investing in different courses and talking to people that are way smarter than me, trying to get obviously more information, because there's so much.
Yeah, that could be a good one for sure. Because there are definitely some good pointers to look at, and women think that, oh, like, my coach is a male and he doesn't understand. Well, yeah, we understand, and same way women understand men, because there's female trainers and coaches that have male clients, and they are fully capable of maximizing their health. So yeah.
So how do you feel about my comment that I make this comment all the time? Men's bodies are stupid comparisons to women's. I think men's bodies would let us die. Women's bodies go through metabolic adaptation so much faster, seemingly, than men's do.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think first of all, like, the complexity of a female anatomy and physiology, it it's it is definitely more for preservation of life, and it is definitely more adaptable, because they're the caregivers for children, right, for evolution. And so if females' bodies were not so adaptive, and are able to overcome illnesses or to preserve itself, then we would definitely not have a society, because hereditary lines would just stop, because men, our bodies are kind of like stupid, right? So it's like, we can throw a lot of stuff at it, and it either won't adapt, and it'll just be like, hey, this is too much stress on my body. I need to shut down this certain area. Whereas women's, they'll be like, oh, hey, like we're getting this feedback for our hormonal feedback loop, and we can adjust by changing this hormone, or we can decrease T3 and increase TSH, going through this like famine time, because we got to, let's say, make breast milk in order to feed our child. And so they're also giving nutrients to the child, and their body's depleting themselves. And so that's like, it's kind of crazy to think that, like, even during times of like less food, females are able to get away with eating less and still be able to metabolically move and metabolically like overcome illnesses to keep that child alive. And so it's kind of crazy the like how that aspect goes. And then also, like, if you take that like away from like motherhood, put that into bodybuilding or fitness, like, the female's like, hey, like, I'm dieting on 1,300 calories, I'm still not losing weight. Well, I mean, it's the same preservation thing. So so your body is trying to adapt to these lesser calories, and it's very, very fast. And so we do see rapid weight loss in women at the very, let's say like for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but then after that, it's just like very plateaued. And it's that adaptive process. And you got to like really account for some of these hormonal changes that happen due to the adaptation, that metabolic adaptation. But yeah, yeah, we can go over some markers that I find are going to be a better indicator of like, hey, what's my next steps for this person to compete, or for this person to possibly like overcome or manage a autoimmune disorder, particularly with thyroid for women, or just to like increase overall like well-being, because emotional health, I think, is another aspect of coaching from our end, and it shouldn't be coming from a wellness coach. Hey, I'm here to be your friend. Let's get through this. Like there does need to be some exercise involved and some nutrition and training involved for the emotional health. But yeah, that totally down for that one.
Can you think of, just off the top of your head, because we'll wrap this up shortly, any reasons why, like, because I like to utilize kelp supplements for a lot of my female clients for the iodine. Can you think of any, and that's kind of a broad, almost like I put fish oil on most people's plan. For females, I like to incorporate that. Can you think of any downsides to at least small amounts of it?
So iodine could be tricky if you have like any genetic predispositions to having like goiters, and that would just be based upon your TSH, T3, T4 levels, and also testing cortisol levels as well. But usually women or people in general aren't taking in enough iodine, irregardless whether that be from kelp or ionized salt, because everyone's had this move from Morton salt or ionized salt to pink Himalayan sea salt. So I don't think there's as big of a risk for goiters. I think more of, hey, I'm on, like, I think if you have a client and she's like been going to, like, let's say the hospital or the emergency room or clinics to go, let's say, get x-rays done, right? I mean, that puts more risk at you destroying some of your thyroid. The extra iodine, I could see being a problem as far as like a metabolic factor for growth of goiters, but we don't see that as prevalent, right? So I mean, you see like little like nodules or mass in thyroids, but it's not like a goiter to where it just like where it's an iodine overdose. It's usually a hormonal issue. So I mean, and that could be a variety of different things, but I know Eiley right now, she's taking iodine. So we use the Terry Naturals one, and because she's kind of hit a plateau, her strength is going up, but the weight loss is stagnant, and even with some carb cycling, and but all of her levels came back fine, but her TSH, I mean, it's still within a normal range, but again, the ranges are ranges, and so if we can kind of get rid of some of that TSH and then increase her T3 with the iodine without having to use like Armor All or like T2, then there'll be better success. So yeah.
1 second. T2.
Yeah, it's like a 3,3 ditrityrosine, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm aware of obviously T4, T3, reverse T3. I'm gonna have to talk to you about this maybe off camera.
Yeah, they put in a lot of DSHEA compliant non-stem fat burners or stem fat burners.
Oh, I did see this.
3 or 3.5. I don't remember. It's in Like a Pro. I think Burnaway. It's like one of the last ingredients, but it's usually like 100 to 200 micrograms per serving, and it raises T3, dude. Like, it's crazy, and that's also like the same activation. It's like the same like CAMPK activation that like forskolin does, but so your CAMPK can sometimes cause a more catabolic response, And so we want to try to increase the anabolism. And so T2 seems to help with the anabolism and not be so much, and not rely so much upon this AMPK circle for the metabolism, for weight loss. So
Okay.
because we're not focused on longevity with the AMPK, we're more focused on anabolism and muscle building and recomposition. So like trying to use stored fat as fuel. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, this was awesome. I think we got a topic for whenever we want to record next.
Yeah.
Some fun stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Disclaimer: this is entertainment purposes only. This is not advice. I need to make one of those things.
You got to throw it on the front.
Yeah. All right. Anyways.
Awesome.
All right.
Get this post.